Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. By now, I hope you got all your gifts for everybody else, and you at least got yourself something. But there's one last thing that you need to make this Christmas perfect, and that's boundaries. Welcome back to How to Beat You podcast. I'm your host, Jarrell Henry, and you can stay up to date with all things How to Beat You at Jarrell.Henry on all my socials. Today, we're talking about the importance of boundaries. There is no more important thing you need to survive these holiday times than boundaries, because it get real shaky when you around family and friends and whatever. So you need to be able to stand up for yourself. And an easy win that I can think of to help you with that is that when somebody say something to you or do something to you that like you feel is wrong in your gut, say something. Say don't do that. Say I don't like that. Say I can't deal with that. You got to say something, because nobody else really going to advocate for you. This is your life and your problems. So it's on you to make them known. I didn't even used to be good at speaking up on my boundaries. In fact, I used to be very bad. I was definitely a heavy people pleaser, and it took a lot of time and work to get over that. But one of the times that I really started to understand the importance of like having and standing on boundaries is years ago. I had a girlfriend who I loved dearly, and she loved me too, but she did not respect my boundaries whatsoever. I would try my best to say what I needed, but I wasn't solid enough in myself, or I didn't feel good enough in myself to stand on them with or without her. So I would just let all the shit that happened fly, and I was the person that was suffering from it. She ain't had no problems. It wasn't her battle to fight, but me not standing up for myself enough in that battle made a hard situation for myself even worse. And that's what you need to know. Like, you teach others how to treat you. If you let some bullshit fly 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, oh, this one-off time. It's just, oh, he just in the mood or whatever. But you need to train the people around you to treat you in the way that you want to be treated, because they don't know what you want. They don't know what you need. They can't read your mind. And the only way to at least try to make a safer environment for yourself is to speak up for yourself. It's to fight for what you believe. It's to be okay with shaking shit up a bit. Like, boundaries are the limits that you make to protect yourself. There's many different ways boundaries can show up. It can be like physical, mental, or emotional, or even energetic. Like, there's many different ways it can show up. Like, physically, I don't like being touched all the time. Sometimes I'm cool with a little but leave me the fuck alone eventually. Don't keep touching me. I don't want to be touched. And I didn't know that about myself until I did. And once I did, I had to speak up on it and like just make it clear, like, hey, I got times, and there's times when we can do whatever. But you need to also respect that there are times when I can't do that. And it is what it is. Or mental. I don't like people talking shit all the time. If you don't do nothing with your free time but talk shit, I don't need you around me, because that's draining. And I had to make and draw that line for myself. It's on you to figure out what you need and what you want. That isn't the easiest process, and I get it, but I don't care if you let something slide your whole life. If you realize today that you can't let that shit slide no more, it's on you to say something about it. It's on you to know that you can't tolerate it and it's hurting you. Like, once you say something about it, then people at least have the chance to change how they're moving if they care enough. Now, some people not gonna give a fuck. Some people, you can tell them they boundary, your new boundary, and it won't change nothing whatsoever for them. And to those people, you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. I don't care if that's you cutting back on the amount of time you can spend with them. I don't care if that's you cutting them off completely. In some cases, I don't care if you got to fight that person, because there's only so much that you can take. And granted, I think there should be ample wiggle room. Like, you should give people chances to understand and actually apply this new information, because especially if somebody's known you your whole life, this was always cool. This I don't understand, but if they truly care about you, they will at least try to understand and respect your boundaries. They might not be perfect at applying it instantly, but they'll be willing to put in the effort, and they might fuck up in some of those times, and to that you gotta have grace. But it's not, you can't just let people fly with whatever. It's not cool, and it just make you a pushover. It make you a doormat, and don't nobody like that. Don't nobody need that. People want to be around people who care and love themselves. Like, if you aren't willing to speak up for you, how am I supposed to know what you want? How am I supposed to help you? How am I supposed to play my role as your partner, your friend, your family member, if you don't know what you want and what you can't take? Or if I overstep something that you can't take, you blow up on me one day, and it's like, nigga, what the fuck is going on? Like, we was just cooling. Why are you so mad? But for you, it could have been a steady, consistently lead up. But if you don't say nothing, then I don't even have a chance to change how I'm moving. So it take you doing the work to verbalize what's going on. And if I do it again, then verbalize it again. And like I said, it might take a second, but at least I can try to figure it out. At least I can try to be better at it once I know that it's that important to you. And it can be hard to speak up for yourself if you've never done so in your life. And I get that. Like I said, I was a former people pleaser. These are all, I had to learn how to speak up for myself and believe in myself and not let shit fly. And that's a process, but you got to try. You got to keep trying. You're not going to overcome that challenge of not being able to speak up for yourself by not speaking up for yourself. The only way you're going to do it is by doing it. And if they get mad, they get mad. If they don't like it, they like it. If they can't tolerate it, they can't tolerate it. But that's not on you. Your boundaries set you up to be around the people that work for you. Like, if there's somebody who continually can't respect and see your boundaries, they probably shouldn't be in your life. And if you keep letting them in your life, then you're not respecting your own boundary. So why the fuck would they? Like, it's just like, it takes work on both sides. And if you aren't willing to do that, then you don't really want peace. And especially in these holiday times, you get around all these friends and family who can be a lot. They can be a lot. And I get it. We all got crazy family. But it's on you to make a safe space for yourself. It's on you to protect yourself. And know that it will be okay. Like I said, you don't need to make everybody happy. You don't need to make the easy choice of not causing problems, because even if you don't speak up and cause a problem with the people around you, you not speaking up is going to cause a problem inside of you. It's going to be an internal problem, and you're going to be brooding and sitting on that and just hurting and thinking and being mad. But you could have nipped this in the bud at the beginning, but you chose not to. Like, granted, when you meet people, the best time to set your boundaries is when you first meet them. Like, you can make it clear, like, hey, this is what I condone, this is what I don't. And it's very quick to see like, oh, I can't do that. All right, I can move on. Like that's not a problem. Or something might not be as important, and it's like, okay, this isn't a instant fuck no, like if it's cheating, but this is still a problem, and I can't, like, we can figure out a better balance, and it take both people coming together to find a balance that really work. But you gotta do it. It's important at any time, but especially during the holidays, that you be willing to show up and speak up for yourself and set your boundaries and stand on your boundaries, because your peace of mind means so much more than what other people think of you and other people's comfortability. So thank you for tuning in to How to Beat You podcast. I'm your host, Gerard Henry. You can stay up to date with all things How to Beat You at my personal socials, Gerard.Henry. And thank you. Stay blessed.